How do you become smart like Ayanokoji Kiyotaka? How does Ayanokoji study? What subjects does he study? What IQ does he have? And how does that play a role in his intelligence? All of these questions will be answered in this video. Welcome to the Power Analysis. This is where I do character breakdowns and analysis videos. I am aware that a lot of people enjoyed my previous video on the 5 ways to become like Ayanokoji Kiyotaka, so I decided to create another video on him. Before we get into analyzing Ayanokoji's intelligence, I would appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button if you want more Ayanokoji analysis videos. Without further ado, let's get into this. Ayanokoji's IQ. Before I explain how to study like him, we need to understand how IQ works. IQ is designed to measure a person's fluid and crystallized intelligence. This simply means that an IQ test measures your reasoning and problem-solving abilities. Studies have also shown that a person with a high IQ tends to learn subjects more quickly than the average person. So, how do you measure your IQ? The way I measured my IQ is by booking a physical IQ test with Mensa. They give you 2 tests to complete, and you get your IQ results a couple weeks through the post. My IQ is currently 137, not as close as Ayanokoji, who has an IQ of around 200, but remember that he is a fictional character, so his personality and intelligence can easily be manipulated by the author. Once you get your results, you can take a look at these graphs. If you're around 100 IQ, you're average, which is perfectly okay. If you get above 115, you're above average intelligence. If you have an IQ of 130 or above, you're gifted. And if your IQ is above 145, you are officially a genius. So yeah, Ayanokoji is a mega genius, but we already knew that. So there you go. Ayanokoji's IQ is really high because he's really effective at reasoning and problem solving. He's really intelligent because it's a lot easier to learn for him since he has a high IQ. Couple a high IQ and hard work, and you get a monster. Before we get into what Ayanokoji studies, I want to make sure that you understand that taking an online test is a big no-no. Why? Because online tests overestimate your IQ. They give you a score that is higher than it should be. So yeah, you should probably get a real IQ test. What should you study? Before I list the subjects, you need to realize that you can study anything you want, but you actually need to be the best at it. It's a lot better to be amazing at one thing than to be okay at 5 things. It's only once you get amazing at one subject that you can then switch to another one. So, here are the subjects that Ayanokoji studies. Psychology, sociology, history, basically everything. Everything. He's the jack of all trades. But that's very unrealistic for a real human being. So just focus on one subject at a time. However, there is something to learn that will be very beneficial for you. Cognitive biases and fallacies. This will help you identify illogical thinking in yourself and other people. If you really want to be a machine like Ayanokoji, this is what you should learn first. How should you study? As you know, Ayanokoji studied in the White Room. Why? Simple. By studying in the White Room, your mind does not get stimulated as there are no distractions. The only thing that can stimulate your mind is the work itself. Because of this, you get more work done and your focus increases. I understand that we probably don't have empty rooms in our house, but this is a blueprint of how to do it. If you're really serious about this, social media has to go. No more Instagram, no more TikTok, no more Twitter or any other platform that stimulates your brain in a negative way. Why do you think the creators of these apps don't let their children use them? You really have to question everything before you consume. If you haven't realized that social media is having a negative impact on you, then I don't think you can ever reach Ayanokoji's intelligence level. Number 2, schedule your days. Understand what time you have to study and for how long. During your study sessions, you cannot be distracted by anything else. Just by going on your phone for a minute ruins your entire flow state. Number 3, this last step is crucial. Make sure you come back to the information that you have studied. If you learn it once and never come back to it, do you really think you'll remember it? No way. This is why you should go back to it daily until you've learnt it fully. So yeah, This video is a little bit longer than the previous one, but I just wanted to explain thoroughly on how to study like Ayanokoji. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button since it helps me out a lot. And make sure to comment if you have any suggestions. Thank you.
Took your bitch to California. She just stole some money from ya. I know she doesn't love you, only use it for the Prada. Your bank's just a pinata, got a message from her father. We hopped up in the Bentley and took your bitch to California. She just stole some money from ya. I know she doesn't love you, only use it for the Prada. Your bank's just a pinata, got a message from her father. We hopped up in the Bentley, listened to some Lady Gaga.